failure of the system to not support people who have committed crimes, gone to jail, served their sentence, you know, and then they're committing another crime? So is this not a failure of things like social services and support for people who have committed crimes?
Are you serious?
I'm asking you a
question. I mean, are you serious? Come on. You're telling me... No, excuse me. Let me answer your question. Are you honestly saying that it's society's fault if a repeat violent offender commits 60 or 70 offenses? I think that criminal is to blame for his own actions. He is personally responsible. We're not talking about some kid who made one mistake when he was 19. We're talking about people who do 60, 70 violent offenses.
Why do those people
and then they're, because they're criminals.
But why are they criminals?
Because they do crime.
And why do they do crime?
Because we let them out early on bail.
So because they
I think we've solved the riddle here.
Because they got let out early on bail.
That's right.
They then commit the crime.
That's right.
So
that's what all the experts agree is the cause of the crime.
So had they stayed in jail the whole time, on bail, in jail, not on bail as you say, they would then not commit crimes?
Because they'd be in jail, so they couldn't commit crimes.
And when they get out at the end of their sentence, they're crime-free?
Well, we can't guarantee that, but what we can guarantee is the period when they're behind bars, they will not be able to do crime.
Thanks for joining the video today, folks. So we just saw Pierre taking on one journalist, quotation, when he simply shut down his lack of logic and presented an actual actionable solution that he will partake once he becomes Prime Minister. I do have two more clips of Pierre Poilievre battling with the media. In fact, the last one today is a very confrontational. The Global News reporter, quote unquote, gets very aggressive during this exchange. So with the first video down, let's go ahead and watch the last two clips, and I'll see you at the end.
The carbon tax was inserted by Justin Trudeau, not by my supporters. Why did he do that? No, but I'm just curious. Can you explain to me why there is a carbon tax in the agreement?
No, but the question is why.
No, I asked you a question. You keep asking what the agreement is.
We're the journalists. It's a democracy. We ask the question.
I have the freedom to ask questions if I want to, and I've just answered. I've been answering your questions all week.
Here's another one.
So no.
The government's introducing
why would
an
they do a carbon
investment
tax?
credit.
You're not changing the subject. I know you want to change the subject.
No, I want to ask
because you don't want to talk about Trudeau's carbon tax.
I want to ask a question because in a democracy we ask the question and you answer.
And I decide the answer I give. And the answer is this: we will axe the tax. And Trudeau can try to divide Canadians by putting a carbon tax and a free trade agreement that we already had for years. It won't change a thing.
It's misleading.
Because I will axe the tax, and I will axe the tax with delight and with passion and with incredible speed. So when I'm Prime Minister, you will be shocked at the speed with which I will axe the tax. And the Canadian people will be able to look up at the gas stations and see the prices coming down. And Trudeau can try to distract from his hated carbon tax by putting it in a free trade amendment to a pre-existing agreement. It won't stop me because I will axe the tax, I will axe the tax, and I will axe the tax. Thank you.
But not on industrial emissions.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Appreciate your presence here today. Before I begin, let me just say that thank you very much. I'm being heckled here by thank you very much for your congratulations. Thank you very much for your questions. I'm going to begin my remarks now.
But will you take some questions afterwards?
Justin Trudeau is out of touch and Canadians are out of money. The cost of government is driving up the cost of living. $500 billion of inflationary deficits have bid up the cost of the goods we buy and the interest that Canadians pay. The cost for workers and businesses to produce the goods that we buy. On top of that, Trudeau proposes yet more spending to bid up costs even further. The more he spends, the more things cost. It is just inflation. Their homes and to buy a home in the very first place.
I'll put my hand up.
The reason that
Can I get on the left hand and ask a question? Is that the way it works?
So, I mean, we have basically a liberal heckler who snuck in here today.
I'm a liberal
to,
heckler.
well,
My name's Dave
apparently,
Aiken, I work for Global News. I'm the chief political correspondent for that organization.
Are you gonna let me make my
You may
statement?
remember me from the guy who actually reported first on the Prime Minister breaking the law.
Yeah. Are you going to let me make
We
my
just like to
statement?
ask a question. Say, yes,
I've actually never seen you heckling the Prime
done it
Minister.
before. Ask Minister
Never seen
Pierre
you
back in the
heckling the
day.
Prime Minister. Look, bottom line is
Are you
this.
going to take some questions at the end of this statement?
Yes,
Happy to let
I'll be
you-
taking 2 questions at the very end.
Excellent.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
So I'm going to start my statement again.
That's our video for today, folks. Thank you so much for watching until the very end. And please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Anything and everything you do really helps me in building this channel and providing more content for you. So with that out of the way, thank you again. You take care of yourself, and we'll see you next time.